Alright, so we're going to be looking at 5 impossible things that can happen on other planets. I'm intrigued.
There are some things that are just not possible on our planet. It would
a
certainly
pig
be
flying, that's
understandable
not.
that you would think that if
It's
it's
not
impossible
possible.
here on Earth, then it would be impossible everywhere else in the
I
universe.
don't believe
but
that.
that's simply not the case, and the universe
Good.
is far stranger than any
I'm
of
right
us
then.
can actually believe.
The universe is crazy, man. They don't think like what's out there. It's mental, man.
begin with shadows. Your shadow on Earth is always alone, and you're always used to seeing it this way
No.
as it follows you around.
That's wrong, actually. It's not always alone. If you have like lighting or whatever, you have like other light coming from like where the camera is, and then I have another light. I don't know, here, like where my laptop is here, right? I have that there. Look behind me. There's 2 shadows. So it's wrong,
During
actually.
the day. You're also used to seeing everybody else with just one shadow, but this isn't a universal thing that would be experienced elsewhere.
No.
We have one shadow because our primary light source on Earth is our sun. But what would happen?
That makes sense. That's why I've not got a shadow right now.
A planet that orbits 2 stars would look much like Tatooine from Star Wars, with 2 brilliant sunsets each day and 2 shadows instead of 1
Wow.
for each person. It used to only be science fiction until the planet Kepler-16b was discovered, which is a place that orbits 2 different stars.
Ooh.
If you were suddenly teleported to the surface of the planet, you would
That's a
likely
weird
die
solar
from the
system.
extreme temperatures and lack of air to breathe, but assuming that you were teleported in a suit that could help you survive, then you would experience having 2 different shadows, and for your always lonely shadow that you experience on Earth. Our next extremely bizarre place is a planet that is likely completely covered in water, an ocean planet named GJ1214b. The
Surely
planet
that's
is
not real
several
fire.
times larger than the Earth, which makes the Pacific Ocean on our planet seem like a puddle in comparison.
That
Even
does
though
seem
water
quite tiny.
covers over 70% of the Earth's surface, water only accounts for 0.05% of the Earth's total mass. On
That's not
GJ1214b, however, water may account for up to 10% of the planet's
Jesus.
total mass, which means that the entire planet
Like water, right? Water's not. It's not heavy. Like you get a glass of water, right? Compare that to like a glass of metal. The metal's it's gonna weigh more.
would be covered in an ocean hundreds of kilometers deep. Our
Jeez.
own ocean goes down only a mere 11 kilometers, and we already
Wow.
have terrifying monsters like this, and
Ugh.
this, or huge whales like this. So, one's imagination can run absolutely wild with what fantastical monsters
That'd be
could
scary,
exist
that
in an
is.
ocean that's over 10 times deeper than our own. Who knows what could be lurking there if you crash landed your ship on the surface, but what is known is that at the very bottom of this massive ocean, hundreds of kilometers beneath the surface, the pressure would be so intense that the water at the bottom would be transformed into an exotic form of ice known as
Ooh.
Ice 7. This ice wouldn't be like ice that you know on Earth.
So this thing is like it's so like pressurized, right? That it forms ice. So do not like form diamonds as well, because like the diamonds are formed by intense pressure, right?
Wouldn't be cold at all, but would remain in a solid form. This doesn't happen
Hmm.
naturally on Earth, but neither does our next bizarre example. Weather on Earth is often violent and unpredictable, but it's extremely tame compared to other places in the universe. Take the planet COROT-7b, for example, where instead of raining water, it rains down rocks.
Oh,
this is
God.
because half of the planet is
Imagine like if it raining, and you just get attacked by rocks. Like you'd be caught everywhere. That'd be awful.
scorching hot at 2,600
Ooh,
degrees Celsius, while the
jeez.
other half is far cooler at 177 degrees
That's still not cool, that's
Celsius. The temperature on the hot side
Double
is enough
boiling
to
point or
vaporize
whatever.
rocks, and just like how water will
Jeez.
evaporate and condense into clouds on Earth, so too will rocks condense into rock clouds on this planet. These strange rock clouds will then
Shit,
rain liquid
that has
rock
to be
or
so
magma
hot.
back onto the surface, but since the atmosphere is cooler the
Oh,
further up it
liquid
goes,
rock.
and the temperature on the cool side is far lower, the magma rain will often harden into rocks before striking the ground. This planet seems like the closest place to hell that a place in the universe could get, but another planet has perhaps even more bizarre weather. This planet, known as HD 189773b, is located 63 light-years away from us,
That's a long
is a little
distance.
larger than Jupiter, and looks
Oh.
stunningly beautiful from space. But
That does look
beauty
quite
is
beautiful,
hiding
but
a
surely it's not real
terrifying
fire.
secret. It looks this way because the planet's atmosphere is made up primarily of silicate particles. Winds on the planet can scream at 5,400 miles per hour.
50. That's faster than the Earth rotates. 5,400 miles an hour. Looks like. How? I don't know how to visualize that. It's crazy.
Equal to 2 kilometers every second, or 7
God.
times the speed of sound. Temperatures can soar up to
7
930
times.
degrees Celsius, but most terrifying of all is that the planet rains glass sideways in its extremely violent 2 kilometer per second winds. This
Imagine that. There's a window like right here, right? Imagine just slower than that, right? If someone like punched the window and shot me, I'd be bleeding, I'd be cut open. Like 2 kilometers a second. That's like from here to my school. In a second. That's speed, jeez.
is so fast and scary that if a storm like that happened to appear on Earth, it would travel across the entire planet at the equator in just 5 hours and 33 minutes, and leave
Wow.
behind a shredded trail of glass. But even this storm pales in comparison to the mightiest wind so far known in our entire universe, the wind on the planet HD 189733b.
What are those like
This
planets
is a
have,
gas
like,
planet with
weird
one side
names?
always facing its star, where temperatures can
Oh.
reach a scorching
That's not
966
good.
degrees
Well,
Celsius.
it's like tidal
But the
losses.
temperature on the dark side is still very hot at 688 degrees Celsius.
Was it so hot?
So, how does the dark side remain so hot still? The answer is extremely, wickedly fast wind, possibly up to 22,000 miles
God.
per hour.
Wind's cool, right? I don't know, whenever it's like windy here, like it's cold, right? So like the wind there heating, that's gotta be ridiculous. Jesus. 22,000 miles an hour is I don't even want to imagine.
To 10 kilometers per second, or nearly 29 times the speed of sound. For reference, the fastest ever recorded wind on the Earth happened during a tornado in Oklahoma back in 1999, and that was only 301 miles per hour, or 73 times less than the nightmare storm on this giant that's raging right now as you are watching this video. If you made yourself a kite and flew through the wind, then you could zip around the entire Earth in a mere 1 hour and 8 minutes. But perhaps the most interesting place is somewhere that's much closer to home, specifically this place called Titan, which is a moon of Saturn. It has such a thick atmosphere that we didn't even know what its surface looked like until 2005, which if you're curious, it looks like this. But Titan is a
That looks kind of cool. We should visit. We should send humans there.
very bizarre place. It has an atmosphere, rivers, and lakes, and it even rains like on Earth. But the temperature is a
could be life.
bone-shattering negative 179 degrees Celsius, which is so cold that water is as hard as rocks, and the chemical methane exists in a liquid state.
Jeez.
The clouds, rivers, and lakes on the moon are made of methane, which is the primary
Huh.
component of natural gas.
USA, they're gonna steal all the oil. No, but like, I reckon there should still be life there like that. The thrives off methane. I reckon, right, because we're on Earth, right? Life on Earth, it exists because of water, right? But it exists through water. So if you had liquid methane instead, the life there surely would thrive off methane.
Only 20% of Titan's surface has ever been mapped, but it is
We need to map
estimated
more.
that
We
in
need to
that
map
region
more.
alone, there is hundreds of times more natural gas and oil than is located on all of Earth.
Oh,
There
America's
is
gonna-
so much gas on
They're gonna
Titan
go
that
there.
it literally rains it. It's an oil tycoon's dream, and maybe the best way to encourage
Imagine the oil
space
prices
travel is
here,
to let
man.
a few countries know about Titan. But even more strange, you could actually theoretically fly on Titan.
What?
The atmosphere is thick enough and the gravity is weak enough that if you attached a pair of wings to your arms and made a running jump, then you could actually flap around the moon like a bird, taking in all the alien sights of rivers and lakes. Of course you would need a suit to protect yourself, but still, you could fly just like in your dreams and achieve something that's impossible here on Earth.
That'd actually be so cool. Oh my god. Imagine flying like that. That's crazy. Oh. That's impossible here though. It's crazy, I love that video.